Welcome to a special edition of Post Game on the Pitch. We got Jackson, yeah, he's back, and also Nico Moreno. Where you been, bro?
Hey, man, I've been around. It's just, you don't call me because you don't like me.
Well, anyways, it's a star-studded edition. 5-4, take it away, Nico. What did you see? What did you like?
Hey, you know what? I mean, it was a resilient job by a team that was faced with a San Diego Loyal squad that came at a different type of atmosphere, right? They came to play with a lot of physicalness. They really pressured. The first 15 minutes was all San Diego Loyal. It took Seattle a little bit of time to really settle down. And then eventually when Leo Chu started exploding the flanks and mistakes started happening, Seattle got in front because they were able to be effective in front of goal. Having a guy like Fredy Montero, a guy like Dobbleare that gets the first goal, and that changed the game entirely.
He's polished. We got to bring back some more. What did you see?
I mean, what I saw was about 3,278 hearts pounding for the last 35 minutes. I mean, how many times have we seen that many bangers in that short of a period in this meaningful of a game? I mean, that was insane down the stretch, guys. I mean, San Diego could not stop Reed Baker-Whiting, and I should say Reed Banger-Whiting as he's now being called. My God, what a goal. Moz, credit to you. You said Fredy was going to get a goal there in extra time. I didn't think it was going to come by the PK, nor did I think it was going to come in the 124th minute or whatever it was. That was insane. My heart's still beating fast.
It was a game for the fans. So here's what we're going to do, as we always do. We're going to go to video. We're hearing from Brian Smetzer, Reed Baker-Whiting, and Fredy Montero.
Suffer more than what we wanted to, but I mean, at the end we got a win, and that's what matters. When you play a team that is coming and scoring goal from behind, the extra motivation that they have is always better than the other team that is getting received those goals. So I believe that they get momentum and they score those goals. But yeah, at the end we scored the last one, and we put the Sounders through.
It feels great. It's a really special moment, one that I've been waiting for a while. I've had my chances before, but this one felt really good, and there's not a better time to score one like that. And so I'm just really thankful and really grateful for this moment, for all the rest of the team, all the staff, everyone who's helped. I think it was a really strong team performance for everyone, and it feels great.
Can you tell us what's going through your head with that goal with the shot? Yeah.
Well, I kind of saw the space. He cut off the line, so I could come inside, and then I saw the space, so I kept going, and then I saw I wanted to hit it, and I hit it there. And after that, it was I didn't really know what to do exactly, but it was great.
The importance of making a contribution. You make a contribution, the team wins, and obviously showing your coach, hey, coach, I can do this. How about some minutes?
I mean, yeah, I think it's important. The most important thing is the team and how I can help the team. Well, I've been working for the opportunity. I'm just glad that I could take it and help the team.
I would expand that to the fans that came down here, to the coaching staff, to our front office, to everybody. I mean, for the entire organization, this game was a great game. I mean, this will go down in, I've seen a lot of games on this field, and it was a pretty freaking great game.
How hard was your heart racing across that, roller coaster of a game?
Calmate.
All right, guys, so we'll just kind of wrap it up there. And, you heard what the players said. We heard Craig Weibel. He talked to us. He's such a great match. And he said, this was how you dial it up. One for the fans, as you talked about. One for the young players. One for the veterans. All around win for the organization. Would you say, Nico?
Absolutely. I mean, this is what the fans have been craving for a long time. They know what the Open Cup means in U.S. soccer history in general. Now Seattle goes off to the next round. They might be able to get farther into it. And I think this is really going to put a different expectation for the club. Knowing that they could take one more step. Maybe we'll see more starters in the next game, depending on who they face. But I just thought it was a fantastic game. seeing the young talent, experienced players like Javier Arriaga, Fredy Montero, Rowe got in there. I mean, it was really a collaborative effort by everyone.
That's absolutely right. And Atencio, too, seeing him get in there at the end. I mean, seeing those veteran players get in there, I think it was great. I thought the starting lineup was about what we expected. Obed Vargas, getting a bunch of time in there as well. I mean, Leo Chu going 45, and you'd think if Leo Chu didn't have to, probably get a bunch of time Saturday in Salt Lake, you would imagine he would have gone longer than 45. So, it's an interesting case of in the next round, whether it's a Monterey or a Portland, whoever it is, what does that lineup look like? Is it more Tacoma based? Is it what we saw tonight? Is it even more starters? All of these are really good questions for Brian Schmetzer. And at the end of the day, I think a lot of it plays into A, what's the health of the squad at the time regarding MLS action? And then B, what's their schedule, right? Do they have a game where they can say, yeah, let's roll out, an Arriaga and Obed again? That's going to really depend. If it is the second week of May where they have to play this next round Open Cup game, then we look forward in that schedule and we try to figure out, okay, who might be available, who will Brian Schmetzer need, so that not allows him to start in the Open Cup match. Very interesting questions, guys, that are still a couple weeks out, but for tonight, great performances all around. You got 3 players who scored their first career goal with the senior team in Dobbleare, in Baker-Whiting, and then, my goodness, Paul Rothrock from Seattle. Good. A local kid who also I heard went to San Diego State. Then for him, right, you're playing with your hometown team in a massive Open Cup match against a city where you went to school at. That moment for him, and as one of those 3 players who scored their first senior goal, you couldn't ask for anything more.
No, and you saw Brian Schmetzer at the end. He was a proud papa. He was joking with us, y'all, and he had that smile. So this is what the organization asked for. To your point, let's see what do they do moving forward, right? Be careful what you ask for. The young kids showed today that, hey, we can play. Right. But you know what? You're trying to win the MLS, right? You're fighting for the Western Conference. So there you go. So it'll be interesting to see at the time, like you said, at the schedule, who do they play? When do they play, and then who do you insert there? But I think this was a good start, a good feel-good win for the organization and the fans, because the Sounders, they like to give it to them because last time they lost here, right? So this was a good one. So
and for Brian, you bring up a great point, because you have to feel like there's a little bit of weight lifted off of Brian, because he wanted to win this.
5 years without a win in the Open Cup. 5 years without a win in the Open Cup before tonight.
Smile.
Yeah, really the weight was off, absolutely. Okay, so he's Nico Moreno, what other outlets are you at? You're all over the place.
Yeah,
Nick?
Pulso Sports, Soccer Bar, Unánimo Deporte, and Sandra Hart.
That's about as much as you go now. Jackson Phelps.
I don't even know. I lost count. He's on KJR. That's it.
Yeah, that's all. He's on KJR.
Because they make the big bucks.
Right? And I'm, of course, at CascadiaSports.net. Thank you all for listening. And, fellas, thank you for joining. And we might come back sometime. Thank you all for listening. Bye.